ever noticed how the things you own slowly begin to own you? The clothes stacked in your closet that you never wear. The gadgets that promise to make life easier but end up collecting dust. The car, the house, the subscriptions. The endless stream of stuff that demands your time, your energy, and your money. You thought you were buying freedom, but instead you bought chains. This is the hidden tragedy of modern life. We drown in possessions and starve for peace. The Stoics saw this truth 2,000 years ago, long before smartphones and shopping malls. They warned us that wealth and things are not the problem. Our attachment to them is. And if we don't master this attachment, it masters us. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Think about that. You could be surrounded by abundance, yet still live in poverty, if your desire always outruns your reality. How many times have you told yourself, just one more purchase, just one more upgrade, and then I'll finally be satisfied? But the finish line always moves. That's not living. That's slavery to appetite. Minimalism today is often presented as an aesthetic. Clean white walls, perfectly arranged furniture, only a handful of items. But to the Stoics, minimalism was not about a style. It was about freedom. Freedom from needing more. Freedom from being owned by desires you never chose. They asked one simple question: how much do you actually need to live well? And the answer is always less than you think. Picture this. You wake up in a cluttered apartment. There are bills scattered on the table, clothes draped over chairs, notifications buzzing on your phone before you even have coffee. From the first moment of your day, your mind is pulled in 1,000 directions by things you don't even care about. Now picture another morning. The room is simple. What you see is what you use, what you value. No unnecessary noise, no piles of forgotten things, just space. In your home and in your mind. Which life feels lighter? Which life feels more alive? That's the difference between owning less and being owned by more. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, very little is needed to make a happy life. But why is it so hard to believe that? Because the world around you spends billions to convince you otherwise. Every advertisement whispers the same lie. You are incomplete, and this product will make you whole. But the Stoic flips that script. You are already complete. Nothing external can add to your worth. The less you chase, the more you can actually live. Let's break this down into practical wisdom. First, reduce what weakens you. Look at your environment. How many objects around you are just noise? Sell them. Donate them. Remove them. Every item gone is one less thing demanding your attention. Second, invest in what strengthens you. A book that expands your mind, a tool that truly helps your craft, a few clothes that you actually love wearing. Quality over quantity. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Train your wants to be fewer, and suddenly you'll feel wealthier than kings. But this is not just about physical stuff. It's also about mental clutter. How many commitments have you said yes to that drain you? How many toxic relationships, endless obligations, and empty conversations fill your days? Owning less is not just about closets and drawers. It's about your time, your focus, your very life. The Stoic practice of simplicity means asking yourself constantly, does this align with what I value? If not, let it go. Let's pause here for a moment. If these lessons resonate with you, if you feel the weight of excess and want to live lighter, freer, stronger, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. That way you'll continue learning how Stoic wisdom can reshape your life in ways modern advice never will. Now, let's get even deeper. Imagine you're at a dinner table with friends. One person brags about the new car he just bought. Another flashes the latest phone. Another shows off an expensive watch. Everyone is competing silently for status. And then there's you. You smile, you listen, but you don't need to one-up anyone. You don't need to prove your worth through things. That is real power. When you no longer play the game of appearances, you rise above it. That's what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." If your why is strong, you don't need constant hows in the form of shiny toys. Of course, people will misunderstand you. They'll say, "Why don't you buy more? Don't you want nicer things? Don't you want to keep up?" But a Stoic doesn't measure life by what others see. He measures it by what he feels inside. Tranquility, freedom, clarity. The irony is, when you stop chasing appearances, people respect you more. Because your peace can't be bought, and that makes it priceless. Here's another perspective. Every possession comes with an invisible cost. That car you bought? It needs insurance, fuel, repairs, parking. That house? Maintenance, cleaning, endless upgrades. Even the clothes in your closet require space, organization, care. The more you own, the more life you spend maintaining your possessions instead of living. Own less, and suddenly you reclaim time, energy, and focus. Seneca warned about this 2,000 years ago. Slavery holds many men fast, but the chains that bind them are not of iron. They are of gold and silver. Think about that. Today, the chains are not just gold and silver. They're screens, cars, subscriptions, designer brands. And people wear these chains proudly, never realizing they are enslaved. To live like a Stoic is to break those chains one by one until you stand free. So what does living more actually mean? It means space in your day to think, time to read, energy to pursue what matters, presence with the people you love, gratitude for the simple things, a meal, a walk, a conversation, the sky at sunset. The wealthiest life is not built from what you accumulate, but from what you appreciate. But let's be clear. Stoicism doesn't demand you renounce everything. It doesn't mean living in poverty or rejecting comfort. It means using what you have without clinging to it. Marcus Aurelius had palaces, yet he reminded himself daily to live simply. Epictetus had almost nothing, yet he spoke with joy. Both lived rich lives, because neither was owned by what they owned. That's the balance to aim for. And here's the truth. When you own less, you actually see more. More beauty, more meaning, more life in the things that remain. A single book read deeply can transform you more than a shelf of unread titles. A single true friendship is worth more than 1,000 casual acquaintances. A single mindful breath is worth more than 1,000 empty distractions. Own less, live more. So the next time you feel the urge to buy something you don't need, pause. Ask yourself, is this freedom or is this another chain? And the next time you feel weighed down by the clutter in your life, remember, every object you let go of is not a loss, but a gain of space, peace, and life itself. If this message resonates with you, if you're ready to cut through the noise and reclaim your freedom, then join me on this path. Subscribe, share this video with someone who needs it, and keep walking the Stoic way. Because in the end, your life is not measured by what you own, but by how deeply you live.